It is a right every human being deserves to have. There are those who have given up everything to defend this right. History's blood-stained battlefields prove there is a cost to preserving it. Freedom is not free, it comes with a price. Freedom is worthy of sacrifice. As one famous individual put it, better to die free than to live as slaves. And as another said, give me liberty or give me death. But what is true freedom? Is it merely the absence of restrictions? An eagle unrestricted by the motion of air will never have the chance to soar. The constraints it yields to help it soar, strong, swift, and free. So is freedom really dependent on the absence of restrictions? Is it the right to be who you want to be and live how you choose to live? A fish that wants to live as it pleases and frees itself from the constraints of the ocean to live on land would not be free for long. Unable to survive, its freedom to live would be ruined. In striving to be like a land animal, the fish would be less free than if it had lived according to how it was meant to. So is freedom really the right to be who we think we should be? Or is it the power to be who we were meant to be? What you are about to see is a story of freedom. It is not just a story about national freedom, not just a story about a Hebrew nation receiving liberation from an oppressive ruler. For while important, that is only a part of the story. This is a story of personal freedom. A story of release from trying to live up to expectations and instead receiving strength to live out your true purpose. A story of deliverance from a past filled with regret to a future filled with hope. A story of being rescued from the burden of finding your own way and being found by the one who always makes a way. How do I know? Because this is my story, and it can be your story too. Because the hero of this story is a deliverer who continues to deliver today. This is a story about the one who made a way for us to have true freedom.
Savior on high, turn your ear to our cries. On your name, hear us, so our deliverer. We are in bondage, Lord, see your pain. Lost Jehovah, free us, live in hope. We are so lonely, we lift up our eyes. Yahweh, we seek you, oh, turn our way. Hear us, oh Savior, Moshia Yasha, our Savior.
Behold, Egypt's glory and splendor. Surely the land has never before seen such heights of majesty.
Yes, like the sun, Egypt rises in brilliance, shining like burning gold as it illuminates the heavens. Yet a threat to our security is lurking in the shadows.
My lord?
Our empire is built upon the bent backs of Hebrew slaves. There's the nation that supports us, but what if the nation that supports us grows strong enough to suppress us? Don't you see what lies under our great dynasty? It's a nation not small. It could cause us to fall. Crush the Hebrews, I tried, but they just multiply. Their numbers grow, and their strength could bring us low. I've done everything to bring them to nothing. Rob them into slavery, rob them of dignity. If their spirit's not broken, what if they were chosen to crush our daughters and sons? Israel is growing into a nation mightier than ours. The Hebrews are many and they're not to be trusted. If war breaks out, they'll join our enemies, fight against us, and leave our country.
What is to be done?
We must put a stop to their unceasing growth. Send out this decree. I, King Seti I, order the Egyptian people to throw any son born to the Hebrews into the waters of the Nile River. Let them weep all they want. They'll drown in their useless river of tears as their children drown in the waters of the Nile. Like a flood that cannot be contained, I will rid Egypt of Israel's name. What power or God can stand in my way?
As the day turns into night, Lord our God, be our light. Help us to follow you, live by faith and not by sight.
Ema,
Yes, Miriam.
couldn't we try hiding him a little bit longer?
No, dear. We've already kept him hidden for 3 months, but I'm afraid we can't keep him hidden any longer. Someone will hear him crying, and it's too great a risk. I will not live to see him ripped from my arms, so I'm placing him in God's hands. I know my God can use something meant for death to bring life. He can use the Nile to rescue your brother, though I don't know how. Come, Miriam, bring the basket. Quietly now, we must hurry. Oh, what I would give so that you might live. Heaven knows I tried, you my son, to hide, but each day you grow, and each day I know that you'll only have a chance to live if I let you go. But oh, this pain will kill me, I feel. Lord, in anguish before you I kneel. Take my son and with him go. Protect him, help him, know you are in control. If I never see him again, be thou his refuge like only you can. Show him you have plans for his life, and he's not here by just a mere accident. You have planned his ways, chosen him by name. When you call him, let him follow you, and your praises proclaim. When you call him, let him follow you, and your praises proclaim.
Bithiah, what are you talking about? You've had noble princes from all over the world try and sweep you off your feet and win your fair hand in marriage. They're all charming, quite intelligent, and extremely brave warriors. That one from Ethiopia is especially impressive.
Yes, but none of them are good enough for me.
And why not?
Because none of them are what I would call easy on the eyes. I know the character of a man is important, and you can't judge a book by its cover, blah, blah, blah. But the truth of the matter is, physical beauty is more important to me than character, personality, or intellect. I mean, if I can't stand to look at a man, how can I ever hope to love him? And besides, I'm so ravishingly beautiful. I feel it would be quite demeaning for my husband if he always felt he didn't deserve me because his looks didn't measure up to mine.
Princess Bithiah, I don't think your potential suitors are that bad looking.
Are you kidding me? One of them already has wrinkles. None
How could you hope to provide an heir to the throne? If you didn't, that would be such a disappointment.
Yes, but I cannot risk to marry a noble anomaly and give my baby an unfortunate gene pool. I mean, if I'm going to provide an heir to the Egyptian throne, he will be nothing short of beautiful.
With that type of mentality, you'll never find a husband and never provide an heir. There, princess. I'm sure there's a silver lining somewhere.
No, there isn't, Aziza. Oh, you could never know how difficult it is to be beautiful.
Excuse me?
I'm letting all of Egypt down because of me. There's no beautiful young prince to take on the throne after my father dies and carry on our legacy. The whole dynasty is collapsing and it's all my fault. Wait.
Sounds like a baby crying.
It's coming from over there. Quick, Aziza, go see what it is.
Why is it always me? It's a basket and it's kind of heavy.
Really? It is a baby! Oh my goodness! His brown eyes are so wonderfully clear, like windows into his soul. And his skin is so soft, and his little hands so perfect. I'm absolutely smitten.
Princess, that's a Hebrew baby. You know, your father, the Pharaoh, made that decree every Hebrew baby boy be thrown in the Nile.
Oh, you poor thing. Don't worry, little one. You're safe now.
Princess, you're not.
I've made up my mind, Aziza. I don't care if he's Hebrew. I love him, and I am going to keep him. He'll be my son.
What, Princess, what about your father?
He'll never find out, because I'm never going to tell him. And any one of you so much as breathe a single word about this to anyone, it'll be the last breath you take.
She's serious.
Oh, hello, little girl. Are you in Hebrew too?
Yes, Your Highness.
Y'all are just popping up by the hundreds around here. What do you want?
I was wondering if you'd like me to go and call a woman from the Hebrews to nurse the boy for you.
Oh, yes! Oh my goodness, that would be perfect! Go fetch it for me, please. Take the baby. Hey, 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 look what I found today. I'm singing, oh, oh, oh. I found it not too long ago. I'm singing, my, you came unloaded well. I'm singing, wow, wow, wow. The river right through came out. I'm singing, hey, hey, hey. I'm singing, oh, oh, oh. I'm singing, my. I'm singing, wow, wow, wow. I'm singing, oh, oh, my, wow, wow. Hey, hey, hey. I found a pretty baby today. I wonder what I should call him. Names. What are some suitable names for this young prince? No way, Jose, that's such a common name. No, no, dear, that name's too long, I fear. No, that name just won't do.
This really is a boy.
I've never heard that name before. Oh no, that just can't be. He needs a name. Aha! I've got the best name ever, one from a basket for a baby floating by in the river. I heard his cry. I've got the perfect name, it'll make you go insane. Got such a pretty ring, sweeter than the song I sing. And name's so special, wonderful, beautiful, and it's all mine. I'll call him Moses, that just suits him fine. child?
Yes, Your Highness.
Good. Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay you your wages.
Yes, Your Highness.
I found a pretty baby today. Oh, Lisa, what would I do without you?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, my dear Moses. These past 5 years have gone by so quickly, but they've been the best of my life. Starting today, your life will change. You will learn many things that are very different than what you now know to be true. You will be forced to choose what to believe about yourself, but more importantly, about the God who made you. Oh, Moses, I cannot give you the jewelry of Egypt's royalty. And although it's not much, this necklace I've made for you, on it is etched something more valuable than all the riches in all the world. You see, on it says, El Roy. It means the God who sees me. It is my deepest desire that you should come to know the God who knows you, that the God who sees you for all you truly are will reveal himself to you, so that you may know him for all he truly is.
Thank you enough, Jochebed. You've taken care of my Moses so well. Come now, Moses. Your grandfather, the great Pharaoh, wishes to see you.
I am, and there is none besides me for greatness. I was born, I ride on the wings of a new glorious dawn. I'm the sun that gives Egypt its radiance. Moon at night conquer the darkness. My legacy will be everlasting. All nations my praises will sing. For I am that which was, is, and always will be.
Well, Moses, that was a flawless recitation, but do you believe all you've just said? If it's true that a man's thoughts determines what he is, how will you ever be great if you don't think of yourself as great? Ask your grandfather, the great Pharaoh, whether he thinks such things or not. I most assuredly will tell you that he does. That's why his reign has been so successful. If you hope to one day inherit the throne and rule this great nation, you do yourself a great disservice by not realizing your potential now. You can only reign with the measure of power you believe yourself to possess. As you think, so you are.
Thomas, can we take a break?
You've been needing a lot of breaks these days, Moses. Very well, but don't leave the palace grounds, and don't go near the Hebrew slaves.
Who oh God, this my soul knows to be true. You are Lord, and there is no God besides you.
You Hebrews sing songs different from that of the Egyptians.
Your Royal Highness.
No, please. Don't mind me. That song you were just singing, do you really believe your God cares that much about you?
Yes, I do.
I don't understand. How can a God who lets his people suffer as slaves truly care about them?
My God is the one who writes history. I am limited to one lifetime and can't see what the future holds, but my God carries out his plan through the ages, generation after generation. Nothing happens by chance. There is purpose in everything. The story of my people is not yet over, and in the end, God's plan for us will triumph.
I admire your faith, the faith of all the Hebrews. Even in the midst of such cruel slavery, you never lose hope in the God you trust in. Sometimes, I wish. Wait, your necklace? It's the same one I have. You're wearing the same necklace too. What does this mean?
We're all related.
I've had this necklace ever since I was a child. All my life, I've wanted to find the person who gave me this. I felt like whoever did so for a reason. It's like I'm supposed to know something. Maybe the person who gave you your necklace is the same one who gave me mine. If you know, you have to tell me who it is.
I gave it to you.
What does it say? I've been trying for so long to figure it out, but I can't read Hebrew. My tutor, almost, won't let me learn the language of the slaves.
It
So
says,
tutor.
it says El Roy. It means the God who sees me.
Why did you give this to me?
I wanted you to know that you were always seen by the true God of heaven.
Please, do you know anything about my family?
Do you not know anything about your ancestry?
My mother says she found me as a baby, abandoned in a basket by the River Nile. She felt compassion towards me and took me in as her son. That's all I know. Mother won't tell me anything else. I guess my real family didn't want me, and that's why they abandoned me. I don't know if I'll ever meet them. We could all be dead by now.
Should I tell him?
Tell me what?
We're all related.
Your Royal Highness, your family's not dead. They're every bit as alive as you are.
Really? Do you know them?
Yes. And I also know that your birth mother left you in that basket, not because she didn't want you, but because it was the only way to save your life.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Your Royal Highness, 9 years ago, Pharaoh issued a decree that every baby born to the Hebrews should be thrown into the Nile. That issue was decreed right when you were born. Your mother hid you for 3 months, but she couldn't have kept you any longer. So, in an attempt to save your life, she let you go, though it nearly killed her. She loved you so much, she gave you the chance to live.
God saw her heart's deepest pain, and out of the goodness of his heart, spared your life.
Are you saying that I'm Hebrew? But that can't be. All my life I was told I'm an Egyptian. I'm royalty. I'm meant to inherit the throne one day, and Who is my mother?
The same one who gave you that necklace.
You're my mother.
No, this can't be. It doesn't matter where I came from or who my real family is. You didn't raise me. I was raised in Pharaoh's court. I was never meant to be a slave. I am meant to inherit the throne. I'm not just an ordinary person. Thomas says I am what I think I am, so I will not believe that I'm Hebrew or that I'm a slave. I believe that I am a god.
You can't be serious.
Every Pharaoh is worshipped as one. And when I'm Pharaoh, I will be worshipped as one too. Pharaoh is a god, and so I am a god.
How can my own brother be so silly? Do you think Pharaoh's a god? Well, some god he is. He enslaves others so that he himself is exalted. He stands tall on the bent backs of Hebrew slaves. He rises while the Hebrews are crushed beneath his feet. He believes he will live forever, yet he takes the lives of those beneath him. He murdered countless innocent Hebrew boys. You would have died too, if he didn't have the courage to stand against his order. The Hebrews are treated like cattle beneath his reign, without respect, without any dignity. How is a God like that worthy of any ounce of respect? How can you possibly live with yourself if you follow in his footsteps? Is that who you believe you are? The God who enslaves and murders? Let me tell you something about this. You're not God, because the one true God gives life, not death. He's the one who preserved your life. And the one true God doesn't enslave his people, he liberates them. Yahweh made a promise that one day he will set us free, and he will keep it. And no murderous, enslaving human being will stand in his way.
I should go. I should have never come here.
Moses, it is my deepest desire that you should come to know the God who knows you, that the God who sees you for all you truly are will reveal himself to you so that you may see him for all he truly is.
Moses? You haven't been listening to a word I've been saying, have you? Here I am talking about the history of our great nation, and you can't even bother to... Moses, did you write this? This isn't Egyptian. This is the Hebrew alphabet.
Really? It's not that much different than Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Oh, and I suppose you were just happened to scribble hieroglyphics, and they just happen to look like the Hebrew alphabet.
It definitely looks like it.
I see. Just like the day before, when I overheard you humming a Hebrew tune, and you told me that it was an Egyptian chorus with a slight variation that made it sound Hebrew. Or the day before that, when I caught you conversing with some Hebrew slaves, and you insisted that you were merely talking to yourself and didn't realize that the slaves were listening and answering your questions.
That's what happens when you're not paying attention.
Oh, but I've been paying attention. Yes, I have, Moses. I've been noticing the sudden changes in you. Everything you do nowadays seems to have some connection with the Hebrews. You can't seem to stop thinking about them. You hang around them whenever you can. You ask questions about them during class. You can't seem to stop thinking about them. In fact, it even seems like you've started thinking like them.
That's not true.
Then why is it, Moses, that in our latest philosophical and religious discussions, you've been revealing frightening ideologies that are contrary to the Egyptian way of thinking? Those Hebrews are having a negative influence on you.
I just like thinking about things from different viewpoints. You worry too much, Thomas.
I have to when the fine prince I've worked so hard to create is being polluted by the Hebrews' beliefs.
I'm not polluted by anyone's beliefs. I don't want to believe something just because other people believe it. I only want to believe what is true.
Enough of this jibber jabber, Moses. I need your full attention from here on out. We've wasted enough time as it is. No more interruptions. Now, today's class topic is destiny.
Ooh, destiny! How fascinating.
Your Highness, you could not have joined us at a better time.
I am so glad you think so. I have quite a lot of questions about one's destiny.
That's wonderful, but I'm afraid we don't have time to...
Perhaps I should sing them for you. something you build? Or is it the God's predetermined will? Oh, destiny is a mystery to me.
Moses, care to answer?
Well, there are three arguments that can be made when concerning one's destiny. We could be in control of our destinies, or the successes and failures that befall one can be a matter of chance. And lastly, our destinies could arise not from ourselves or chance, but be the predetermined will of higher beings.
Very good, Moses. Please, go on. What's that? Crap. That's not going to be invented in another 3,000 years.
To believe that we control our destinies is like saying our abilities have no limits, no boundaries. But does the eagle mounted at our command? Can we call down rain from the sky while here on land? Do we sustain the line with its prey with the cloak of night to another day? Do we teach the bird to take flight? Do we lend the stars their beautiful light? Does the sea not cross the line we've drawn in the sand? Do we hold back its proud waves with our hand? To control these things is beyond our ability. So how can we control something as massive as our destiny?
But man cannot be absolved completely of all responsibility when it comes to his destiny. History has shown, time and again, that the individual choices of man have definitely shaped his life's path. So Moses, what do you say to that?
Yes, man has a mind to think and the ability to make his own decisions. But doesn't it make sense that a higher being has a destiny for each of us to fulfill?
If the higher being created us, then maybe.
Because everything that is created for a purpose. Scrolls are made for us to keep records, to pin on them and write down spoken words. This is what I'm saying. I can't stop believing. There's a sovereign being, supreme over everything. He created each human their destinies he planned, but he also gave people the great gift of comfort. Will make it choose whether or not to fulfill his destiny governed by the God's will. So when some man does not truly control his destiny, we can absolutely positively know. But through the choices he makes, he can decide whether or not to achieve the purpose for his life.
But Moses, your argument cannot stand if there was no creator of man, and instead man evolved accidentally and was never created intentionally. Then man for a purpose would not have been made, and your argument would fail, I'm afraid, for then all things that happen to us are coincidence and have nothing to do with providence. Which brings us to argument number 3. Random and matter of chance is destiny.
Thomas, what about mud bricks?
What about mud bricks?
Mud bricks are created by the Hebrews, and what are they made of?
Straw, clay, and sand?
And if those elements were left untouched, do you think they would come together on their own to form a mud brick?
No, straw, clay, and sand must be worked on by a hand to form something else. That's just common sense. Mud bricks are created for a purpose to form great structures such as this palace.
Something like a mud brick, so small and insignificant, is created on a purpose for a purpose to achieve. Surely it's not far-fetched to believe that we as humans who are so complex are created for a purpose to and nothing less.
Moses, your thinking sounds a little odd. You think our destinies were all planned by God. But if mankind can decide to follow his own way, I have to say that your God to me seems dreadfully small. If he would just sit by and do nothing at all.
Well, what if the God has an ultimate plan he fulfills regardless of man's actions? And everyone's destiny can play a part in bringing to fruition his plan.
Are you really believing, are you really suggesting that our lives are like pieces of the puzzle you think is this God's ultimate plan? Moses, I'm just trying to understand.
If man chooses that he will fulfill the destiny that God planned for him, then he will reap the rewards for him down restored.
So, even if man doesn't fulfill his destiny, that God can fulfill his ultimate plan?
Exactly.
But Moses, is this God's ultimate plan good or bad?
I think you'd have to know the God to know that, because if you were given a perfect God, he could do no wrong and have the power to pass judgment, and it always be just.
Well, the God in control of everything can't possibly be good. There's so much evil in the world.
Unless the God permits evil, because if he were to prevent it, he'd have to stop the one who causes evil. Man, if God stopped us, we'd have no free will, and that surely would be wrong.
So the God can achieve his ultimate purpose even through man's evil?
Yes.
Is this God worshipped by us in Egypt?
Moses, a God like that does not exist.
Maybe he does. Maybe he's the God of the Hebrews.
The Hebrews?
Wait, why would you even consider a God that's abandoned his people in a foreign land for over 400 years? Where has he been all this time?
I've heard the songs of the Hebrews. Those slaves are filled with the hope that wouldn't exist if their God's presence weren't with them. I have reason to believe their God has been with them all this time, and to me, there is no God more believable than the one who's with us, even during the worst times.
This is insanity.
I'm just searching for clarity.
Moses, you give us anxiety.
I don't know what to do.
Does he know he's Hebrew?
The God of the Hebrews is cruel, yes, it's true. His people work as slaves, drop like flies every day.
Moses, we can't applaud.
Your strange thinking's so odd.
Your loyalty lies with Pharaoh, not this Hebrew God.
Well, maybe the Hebrew God isn't doing the enslaving and killing. Pharaoh is.
Moses!
Your Highness, I fear for Moses. He's quickly becoming someone I do not know, and I don't know how to stop it.
Moses respects me as his mother. I can change him, and I will. I thought I'd find you here. Moses,
Why didn't you tell me I'm Hebrew?
where did you get an idea like that?
I know it's true, Mother.
You cannot tell anyone about this, okay? If Pharaoh hears about this, your whole life will be ruined and you will never inherit the throne.
Why didn't you rescue me? Why didn't you just leave me to die?
I couldn't leave you, Moses. I needed to provide an heir to the throne, and the gods saw my plight and sent you to me.
Our gods? Or the God of the Hebrews?
Does it matter?
I need to live for the God who spared my life.
Moses, no gods should ever determine what you do or how you do it. Live life for yourself. Creating the life of your dreams is all up to you.
Do you really believe that, Mother?
Yes, you've been given the best opportunities here in the palace. Use them to your advantage. Study well under Thomas and learn the extent of your knowledge. Train diligently to learn the extent of your strength. When you know who you are, you will know your destiny. You have the potential to raise Egypt to greater heights than we have ever been before, to gain us respect through your knowledge, and to defeat our foes with your strength. Know who you are and live with the confidence that comes from believing in yourself. Listen to your heart and follow it.
No God should ever determine what you do or how you do it. Live life for yourself. Creating the life of your dreams is all up to you.
If it's true that a man's thoughts determines what he is, how will you ever be great if you don't think of yourself as great? As you think, so you are.
It is my deepest desire that you will come to know the God who knows you, that the God who sees you for all you truly are will reveal himself to you, so that you may see him for all he truly is. It is my deepest desire that
If it's
you will
true
come
that
to
a man's
know the
thoughts
God who
determine
knows
what he
you,
is,
that
how will
the
you
God
ever
who
be great
sees
if
you
you
for
don't
all
think of
you
yourself?
truly are will reveal himself to you, so that you may see him for all he truly is.
I know it seems like I'm living the dream. I have it all, but yet I feel so small, pulled into
pressure. Sometimes I wish I weren't here. And yet deep within, I feel someone is listening. Someone's out there who knows just how I'm feeling. Things will be made clear. Maybe if I could just hear only his voice above all the noise. But I'm hearing voices from every corner, and all the voices keep getting louder. They're all telling me who I'm meant to be. Voice after voice, I can't stand the noise. I'm hearing voices from every corner, and all the voices keep getting louder. They're all telling me who I'm meant to be. I have to listen to each opinion. I'm hearing voices from every corner, and all the voices forever get louder. Whenever will they stop?
Moses! You're back! I'm looking at the leader of Pharaoh's army who defended the throne and fought against a legion of invading Ethiopians. Not only that, his unmatchable tactical brilliance helped him capture the enemy's capital city. Women and children line the streets singing his praises and chanting his name. Moses! 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 It's hard to believe that the warrior standing before me is the same little boy I drew from the Nile.
I'll always be grateful to you for saving my life.
What is it, Moses?
I don't know.
You're just tired. It takes a lot of strength to fight for the glory and splendor of Egypt. Oh, Moses, do you remember when we were in this exact same place all those years ago, talking about your destiny? And now look, you have achieved your destiny. Well now, Pharaoh's holding a grand celebratory banquet in your honor and requests your presence.
Tell His Highness I'll be there shortly.
I will. I'm so proud of you, Moses.
Miriam?
Moses? Oh, Moses, we were so worried something would happen to you at war. I know you probably hardly ever think about us, but we always think about you.
It's not true. I hardly ever think about you. The truth is, ever since I found out you're my family, I can't stop thinking about you. I know my fighting on behalf of the Egyptians is a great disappointment to you all, especially Aaron, but these are complicated.
I know.
I fight raging battles. I fight raging wars. I win. But I can't win the war raging in me. I've fought to make a way for myself in this world, but my life seems so purposeless. All the glory and the honor I fought for, it'll die when I do. I strive to rise Egypt up to unmatchable glory. But empires rise and fall, like the rising and the setting of the sun. There has to be more to life than this. There has to be something worth living for. I'm just not content with my life. I'll never be good enough or have done enough to satisfy myself. I live only to serve myself, but
being her master, it's no way to live. I'm constantly a slave to my own disillusionment and unmet expectations.
I don't know what God's purpose for you is, but I do know that when you know Him, you will know the plans He has for you.
My Hebrew mother, Jacqueline, what does she believe my purpose is?
Well, first and foremost, she believed you were created to know God and proclaim His glory. But sometimes I heard her pray that God would raise you up to be our deliverer. I think she secretly believed that God placed you in the position you're now in, so that through you, God could save His people.
She really believes that about me.
She did.
What do you mean she did? What does she think of me now? Miriam? Miriam, what's happened to her?
She died while you were away. She was ill, but she never could rest. I'm sorry, Moses.
She lived her whole life as a slave while I was a prince. But I didn't care. I had the power to change things. And I didn't even try.
She loved you, you know that? She loved you with all of her heart.
In these palace walls, living in grandeur, I had it all, while my people die and I pay no heed. A selfish life is the life I lead. Serving, observing Egyptian ways, I never knew that I'd lost my way. Seeking my destiny to find, how could I be so blind? It was right in front of my eyes. A Hebrew boy should have been struck dead by the Nile, but he was instead found by a princess who heard his cry, so he didn't cry. God kept him alive, but to think he was spared to be Pharaoh's heir no longer seems quite fair. For I am a Hebrew, I should say true, myself and my people too. I was not spared to be Pharaoh's heir, but to save Israel from despair. With my power I could do much good, help my poor brotherhood. I found favor in Pharaoh's side, so maybe he just might grant my request. Give Israel rest, make her burdens lighter. Israel, it is God's will for me to be your leader. Don't be afraid. It's okay. You're safe now. But get out of here, quickly. Don't tell anybody what's happened.
Did you see that?
Moses just killed one of them slave masters.
Who does he think he is? Our deliverer sent from God? Well, Egypt can keep all its palace royals. Moses will never be a prince over us. Oh no.
Guys!
He's dead.
Wake up! You can't be dead!
He's good.
There's blood. A slave killer. I'm going to find out who did this! We will find out. What do you have to say for that?
I don't know.
Just tell us who did it, so we can deal with them.
I don't know. I didn't see it happen.
Do you know how we get information out of lowlifes like yourself? Boy, show him. That is correct. We beat them to a pulp.
I give you my word. I have no idea who killed him. Please, sirs, ask my people yourselves.
We don't have time to deal with you lowly beings. You are the Hebrew representative, so you will get to the bottom of it. You have until the end of today to figure out who did this. And if you fail, you may consider yourself boy!
Why, hello there, kind sir. Your countenance tells me you are deeply worried about something.
Maybe it's because we're not producing enough bricks.
Maybe it's because we're still in slavery.
Or maybe it's because of, how shall I say, murder.
Do you know who killed the slave master?
Reduce the number of bricks we have to make each day by half.
What? And Maker Brothers work twice as hard to compensate?
Well, yeah, considering either that or pulp.
Alright. Just tell me what you know.
Our friend named Abihu, a very old Hebrew, had a bad back, but the slave master cut him no slack.
Instead, he just went whack.
And mighty man Moses saw and was furious. He did not slack, he sprang at the master from the back.
And he too went whack.
He hit the back of the master's head, and then the master fell down dead. So you see, he didn't die from illness or infection. We tell you no lie, it was from a bad concussion.
This is the most ludicrous thing I have ever heard. Moses would never kill another man, especially an Egyptian. Father, you can't possibly believe this.
Thomas, you were Moses' tutor. You know him better than anyone. Tell me, Thomas, did Moses ever give you cause to believe that he sides with the Hebrews? Thomas, you must tell me the whole truth. Remember, your loyalty lies with me and with Egypt. And so I ask you again, did Moses ever give you cause to believe that his loyalty lies with the Hebrews?
Yes, Your Honor. Moses thinks very kindly of the Hebrews and has even expressed hostility towards you.
Okay, I can explain, okay. So you see, Thomas and Moses, they got in a debate, you see, and Moses did get a little carried away, but heart of hearts, he's always admired and respected you. He would never!
My lord, I did not express my concerns to you sooner because I truly believe that Moses had the makings of a great leader. But I can see that my concerns can no longer be ignored now that national security is at stake. As Moses' tutor, I can say that he aligns with the Hebrews. He thinks kindly of their God and thinks that you treat them cruelly. And now it seems that my worst fears have come true. Moses has chosen to fight on behalf of the Hebrews.
Bring Moses to me!
My lord, Moses has gone missing.
What?
Moses had shed Hebrew blood and Egyptian blood. And now, he is no longer under the protection of his throne. Any Egyptian who finds him has my leave to kill him. And if he is found and brought to me alive, I will have him killed myself.
No, you can't be so cruel. Please show mercy. Take back what you said.
Moses killed an Egyptian man, and you call me cruel? Oh no, he has shown where his allegiance lies. I wonder, Bithiah, does your loyalty also lie with the Hebrews? No. I will take nothing back. What I have said, I have said.
Land of Midian. My, don't you all look serious as if you've just witnessed a murder or something. Well, anyway, my name is Jethro. No, not Jethro. That is the name of my husband, who is very sadly more famous than I am. Anyway, this morning was just a typical morning in the land of Midian. Our 7 daughters are just returning from drawing water from the well, and Jethro and I are about to greet them, just like we do every morning in the land of Midian.
Now, doesn't that feel good? Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. This is the day which you have made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. Ah, my daughters, the flowers of Midian, second to no one in their beauty. Good morning, my angels. Have you already drawn water for her? How is it you're back so soon?
Oh, Father, it was unbelievable. Awful shepherds met us at the well and tried to stop us from drawing water. They were so scary. I wasn't scared of them. I told them to scram or I'd snap their spines in half.
Which proved to be a terrible mistake.
Oh, don't be such a goody two-shoes, Zipporah. You know you wanted to come after them yourself, but you've always got to be so mature.
Anyways, those shepherds didn't take too kindly to us after Dorcas uttered her words of wisdom. Then we got into a scuffle.
They tried to take our buckets and almost pushed Dorcas into the well. That's not true. I was stronger than a lot of them, Father. I could have taken them if I wanted to. You couldn't have. They were so scary. Looking too good for us. And then all of a sudden, this guy popped from behind the well and ha, ha, ha. And just like that, he scared the shepherds away.
Really?
Yep, when I asked where he learned to fight like that, he said he picked up skills commanding Pharaoh's army in Egypt. Isn't that so cool? I'd like to try my hand at that someday.
He was extremely kind. He even drew the water and watered the flock for us.
Where is he? Did he just leave him there sitting by the well? My daughters, that will not do. We must give him something to eat. And in fact, we'll throw him a feast. Quickly, go and bring him. We shall give this grand fellow the grand Midianite welcome he deserves. My son, your kindness and courage are exemplary. It will be an honor to have you stay with us for as long as you wish. You shall water our flock with us, and everything that we have shall be yours. We have family now, Moses. Come now, everyone. Let us rejoice in our God, the God of Abraham, the one true God. For he has brought this wonderful man into our lives.
A new life welcomed me in the land of Midian. It was not long before Zipporah and I were married, and I was officially a part of Jethro's household. With a family that lovingly embraced the complicated man I was, I couldn't help but think that maybe my heart would find true happiness at last.
It's just a right canvas for all those alive.
for his favor a lifetime.
Weeping may stay overnight, but there is joy.
Sing to the Lord, you this faithful one, and praise his holy name. For his anger lasts only a moment, for his favor a lifetime.
Weeping may stay overnight, but there is joy in the morning.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, sing to the Lord.
Like helpless children, we cry unto you. Feels like you forsaken us, but that can't be true. You are good, we trust and believe, but you're so far and distant it seems. Though we're so sinful and lonely, in your goodness show us mercy. Father pities his children. Lord, show us compassion. Deliver us, rescue us. Lord, our God most high. Hear our helpless cry.
Moses! Moses! Were you having another one of your dreams?
Nightmare. Yes. I've been in Midian for 40 years. I have a wonderful family to call my own, and you and Jethro, you've been so kind to me, but I can't seem to escape my past.
Your past does not define you, Moses.
Then what does?
The God who created you.
I don't see how that's any better. God knows the truth about me. He knows I'm a fugitive hiding out in the wilderness from Egypt. Murderer, coward, desperately hopeless sinner. Yes, God knows the truth about who I am.
Ah, but do you know the truth about who he is? Moses, the pendant you wear, what does it say?
Elroy?
The God who sees me.
Yes. You know Hebrew?
A little. More importantly, I know who it was who first called God by that name. Slave girl who ran away from her master and met God as a fugitive in the wilderness. appeared to Hagar when she was at her lowest. It was there in the desert that God revealed himself to her and unveiled the plan he had for her life. God is with us, even when we are fugitives in the wilderness. He is the God who sees us. He sees us when we're running. He sees us when we're at our lowest. And yet, he never leaves or forsakes us. He looks upon us so we can look at him and see him for all he truly is.
But I don't understand. How could a holy God bear to look at me?
Because he is also gracious and good. God doesn't just see all we are. He sees all we can be. Before our forefather Abraham even had a son to call his own, God called him the father of many nations. God doesn't define us by all the things we're not, by our past failures, or even by our successes. We are defined by the things he will accomplish through us. Moses, you may call yourself a failure, but God doesn't. Despite your mistakes, he calls you to a destiny he will enable you to fulfill. He calls your name. Listen, and you will hear him.
I want to believe that. My people suffer. I want God to use me. I'm so broken. I know God has a plan. How do I even know he knows my name? Is there a God who knows my name?
Moses,
Here I am.
do not come any closer. Remove your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. I am the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.
Yes, Lord, but what do you want from me?
I have seen the misery of my people in Egypt and have heard them crying out because of their oppressors. I know of their suffering. I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and to bring them to a good land, a land flowing with milk and honey. I will use you to carry out my will, Moses. I am sending you to Pharaoh so that you may lead my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt.
No, Lord, you have the wrong man. Don't you know me?
Yes, Moses. Before you were in the womb, I knew you. Now go, for I will be with you, and you will know that I am the one who sent you when you worship me on this mountain after you have led my people out of Egypt.
God, I'm a fugitive from Egypt. I murdered a man. Pharaoh wants to kill me.
Don't be afraid, Moses. Everyone who wanted to kill you is dead.
I believe you, Lord, but why? Just listen to me. I've been in the wilderness for 40 years. I'm not eloquent anymore. I can't speak.
Moses, who makes people able to speak, or makes them deaf, or unable to speak? Who gives them sight, or makes them blind? Don't you know that I am the one who does these things? When you speak, I will be with you and give you the words to say.
God, I am afraid. Please send someone else.
I am sending you. But I will send Aaron, your brother, with you. I have revealed my will to him, and he is already on his way to meet you in the wilderness before you both approach Pharaoh. I will be with both of you as you speak, and I will tell each of you what to do. See the staff in your hand? Through it, I will perform wonders and reveal myself to Israel and Egypt.
What shall I say your name is?
I am who I am. I am the eternal God. Tell them that the Lord, whose name is I am, has sent you. I am Yahweh. That is my name forever, And this is how I am to be remembered in every generation.
That I am seen by the God of great majesty. He sees all that I have become. He knows the past I'm running from. There was no way to meet Yahweh as the sinful man I am. Yet in His mercy He came down and met me where I am. And oh, He came to me in a flaming tree, covering my weakness with the glory of His greatness. The God who spoke and the world came to be is the God who spoke to me. Though I'm so unworthy, His grace has set me free. He broke my chains, He called out my name, and now I believe. He is the one who knows my name, the one who turns my night into day. He takes me by the hand, shows me He has plans to use me even though I was so broken. I'm made whole through Him and Him alone. I'll live my life to give Him praise. Who can explain such infinite grace, that He, the great I am, takes me as I am? Though I am nothing, He is my everything. I am changed, I'll never be the same. Now I know the God who knows me by name. Praise His name.
80-year-old man hiding in the wilderness, who owned nothing of earthly value, completely forgotten by the world. That's who God wanted to use. You see, my God uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, and the weak things to confound the strong. Those people the world deems valueless, useless, broken, irreparable, those are the very people God seeks out and uses. After God spoke to me on Mount Sinai, I wasted no time in setting out for my mission. I met up with my brother Aaron, and after a joyful reunion, we returned to Egypt and called together all the elders of Israel.
People of Israel, today we bring you good news. The Lord our God is our cries for deliverance. He has appeared to Moses and I. He has told us what to say before Pharaoh, for He will free us through mighty, miraculous deeds. He will bring us into the land flowing with milk and honey, and forever we will worship Him, for He is deserving of all of our praise and glory.
What is His name?
His name is Yahweh. He is the I am who I am.
What does that mean?
It means He who existed from the beginning is He who offers us a new beginning through Him. And He who is eternal has no end. declares the end from the beginning, his counsel shall stand. He is self-sufficient, and his grace is sufficient for us. For through our weakness, he will show his strength. Through our slavery, we will witness our deliverer's glory. He is self-existent, and though our fleeting lives are like a vapor, he still cares about our existence. He is absolute reality. There is no reality outside him, and he has entered the reality of our darkness to transform unreal possibilities into a glorious, unfathomable reality. For what he wills comes to pass. The impossible is possible with him. He is constant, the same yesterday, today, and forever. And though our health may fail and our spirits grow weak, he remains the strength of our hearts and our portion forever. His ways are higher than our understanding, and his thoughts by no man are known. Yet by him we are loved and known, and in his mercy to us, he makes himself known. He is who he is, and through him we find all we are. He is Yahweh. I am who I am.
and join you in celebrating the 20th anniversary of your ascension to the throne. Your reign has been the pinnacle of Egypt's art, culture, and might. You have constructed hundreds of monuments and temples, and you have restored the borders of Egypt. Your greatest act of courage was at the Battle of Kadesh, when the enemy had overtaken your division and surrounded you on all sides. But you single-handedly fought the enemy back towards the river and drowned them all. An impossible victory was won that day, one that will forever name you King Victorious. Your name shall be proclaimed to the ends of the earth. Long live King Ramses, strong in might, elect of Ra. Long live King Ramses! Long live King Ramses!
Pharaoh, we need to speak with you.
Who let these men in unsummoned by the king?
The God of Israel has sent us.
Who are you?
I am Aaron with my brother Moses.
This is what Yahweh, the Lord God, says. Let my people go, so that they may hold a feast for me in the wilderness.
What?
With your permission, Israel will go on a 3-day journey into the desert to offer sacrifices to our God.
No! Are you out of your mind? Who is the Lord? Why should I let Israel go? Go tell the Lord I answered his command. No! Why should I heed his demand? I really don't understand. Who is the Lord who doesn't realize who I am? Does he know I'm a child of the bright blazing sun? See me rising, my brilliance above the horizon. Does he realize each pyramid shows my power in faith? Only a ruler like I could build such a nation with structures that touch the sky. And no human can stop me, no force can control me. This God of yours really is out of his league. For I am a God too immortal, and you've got to see me as such. It's not hard to believe. When all nations proclaim my unquenchable fame, let my glory spread through the whole world like a flame. All can see I'm invincible. Your God's invisible. Maybe he's not even real. But if he is, then I feel he doesn't have a clue who I am, 'cause it's true. If he knew just who I am, he wouldn't dare to make such a foolish command. I can see right through you. This is all a ploy to get the Israelites out of working for me.
Pharaoh.
Silence! Jabari,
Yes.
would you instruct the overseers to no longer gather straw for the Hebrews to make their bricks? Let's let the Hebrews gather their own straw. But the quota for bricks is going to stay the same. They'll need to make the same amount of bricks as before. Heavier work is obviously what's needed now. Too much time on your hands to think up these sly schemes. And as for you two, go and tell
I had followed through, but now everything's spun out of control, and Pharaoh won't let Israel go. I don't understand, Lord, what is your plan? Why did you choose me? I just can't see clearly. My obedience only comes to this. I need your guidance. Why do you stay silent? The Hebrews think I'm their enemy. Pharaoh thinks I'm as foolish as can be. Lord, your people are in misery. Why haven't you set us free?
Then you shall know that I am the Lord your God. I will bring you into the land which I promised to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I will give it to you as a heritage.
I will take you as my people. I will be your God. I will bring you into the land I promised you. I am Yahweh, the God who was and is and shall be. This is the covenant of the great I am.
Goes to Pharaoh, and he's like, bro, let my peeps go. But Pharaoh didn't take the bait, so Moses didn't hesitate. He threw his staff on the ground, and Yahweh did much to his staff. He turned the staff into a snake, but Pharaoh didn't bend or break. He told his magicians to do the same, and they threw their staffs like it was a game. Then their staffs became snakes too, and Pharaoh was like, ha ha, you lose. But then things got way more heated because Yahweh won't be defeated. Moses' snake ate the other snakes, and everybody was like, great snakes! Make no mistake, this is just the beginning. This game, our God is totally winning. Jehovah is in full command, and I've got a feeling how this is going to end. If you want to see how this unfolds, I stick around because Yahweh's about to bring the house down.
Pharaoh has chosen to fight against me, and so I will strengthen him in what he has already chosen, so that my power will be displayed to Israel. I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. The Egyptians and the children of Israel will know that I am the Lord.
Some say a hardened heart will prevent the perception of truth and reality. For me, it's a weapon from which I draw strength, power, and dignity. I will follow my heart and guide me with every I will fail. Deep in my heart I know I will ascend to heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars. I will receive all honor. I will rise above the highs in my shining glory. I will be equal to the gods above other created beings. For I am Pharaoh, I am that which was and is and shall be. I am more than confident, no one is as I am.
Pharaoh, if I may speak freely, I do not believe Moses and his God know what they are up against. In fact,
Blood! Moses has turned the entire Nile into blood! There's no clean water anywhere for us to drink! There's only blood! Ew! Frogs!
Frogs! Everywhere! In our houses, in our beds, in our ovens! Big frog, anyone? Ah!
Lies! Lies! Ew! They're on every Egyptian! Lies! Flies!
Flies! All over us and everywhere in Egypt! Ah!
well, at least we still have our cattle to sacrifice to our God.
Yeah.
Our cattle are dead!
Never mind.
Boiled! Boiled! Oh, painful! Itchy! Boiled! Boiled! Help!
Hell! Bigger than we've ever seen! It's practically a mangled with fire! And it's destroying all of our crops! Ah!
Locusts! Locusts! They've covered the whole face of the earth! They eat the crops we still have after the hail! Locusts!
Well, it seems Egypt has hit rock bottom. But you know what they say, the sun will come out tomorrow. Or not.
Darkness. Darkness that can be felt. It's now been 3 days since we've seen anything. When it is light again, I will let Israel go.
Pharaoh, please let us take our livestock so that we may offer sacrifices to our God.
No! No, I've changed my mind. I will not let Israel go. And what's more, never come before me again. Come before me again and die.
Pharaoh, if I may, I think we're the ones who should fear for our lives, not Moses.
Jabari, I am in no mood for this.
The God of Moses is showing us there are no other gods than him, and proving our gods are powerless against him.
Jabari,
The miracles Moses' God are doing are beyond even the best of Egypt's magicians. No man can do what has been done. This is the Lord's finger.
do you know who I am? You forget that your life is not in the hands of some Israelite God. And you snuffed out just like that anytime I want to. Never forget that. Your loyalty is with me.
This is the Lord's finger, moving by Jehovah. This is the Lord's finger, moving by Jehovah. This is the Lord's finger.
rescue you from your bondage. I will redeem you. With an outstretched arm, I will take you as my people. I will be your God. I will bring you into the land I promised you. I am Yahweh, the God who was and is and shall be. This is the covenant of the great I am. I will bring you out, I will rescue you to hell. I will above the stars. With an outstretched arm, I receive all people. I will rise above the heights in my shining glory. I will bring the gods above other created beings. For I am Pharaoh, I am that which was and is and shall be. This is the covenant.
I am more than confident.
Great as I know one is, as great as I know one is, as great as I am.
When Moses first approached Pharaoh, Pharaoh asked, "Who is the Lord that I should obey him by letting Israel go?" Through the course of various plagues, Yahweh clearly revealed who he was. Deliberately and strategically, he showed Pharaoh he was greater than all the Egyptian gods and goddesses.
Let's take it from the top. He turned the Nile red, an action which said,
"Poppy, the spirit of the Nile is dead."
The plague of the frogs cracks me up for its irony. Yahweh told Egypt through some hilarity.
He's greater than Hecht, the frog goddess of fertility.
Through boils that plagued on the skin, Yahweh proved he was really not kidding.
He's greater than Imhotep, the god of medicine.
Through hail that caused Egypt to cry in fear, no one could ever deny.
He was greater than Nut, the goddess of the sky.
Through a swarm of locusts that caused Egypt to fret, Yahweh showed he was greater yet.
Then the protector of the crops, Egyptian god Set.
Through a plague of darkness that did overcome the land of Egypt, Yahweh said he's the one.
Who's greater than Ra, the god of the sun.
Through the plagues of lice, flies, and livestock pestilence, the whole system of the Egyptian gods, Yahweh did silence.
And despite all this, Pharaoh still refused to let Yahweh's people go.
Moses, I will bring one more plague on Egypt. After that, Pharaoh will let Israel go. Tell my people that each household must kill a lamb. They must then smear its blood on the doorposts and lintels of their house. Tonight I will go through the land of Egypt. Every firstborn in the land will die. From the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne, to all the firstborn of cattle. There shall be a great cry in all the land of Egypt, such as there has not been before, and such as shall never be again. But no harm shall come near my people. The blood of the lamb will serve as signs on their houses. When I see the blood, I will pass over them.
Forever
Go. Take the Israelites. Take your flocks. Take your herds. Go out into the desert. Worship Yahweh. He is the Lord.
Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods, glorious in holiness, God of wonder, power, and splendor, forever we'll praise your holy name. In mercy you've redeemed us, set us free. In your love you lead us to the land you promised us, and forever we'll praise your holy name. Who is like you, O Lord, among the gods, glorious in holiness, God of wonder, power, and splendor, forever we'll praise your holy name. In mercy you've redeemed us, we're set free. In your love you lead us to the land you promised us, and forever we'll praise your holy name. Great
Yahweh brought us out of Egypt and led us through the wilderness, guiding us during the day by a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire by night. The Lord led us to the Red Sea and instructed us to wait in front of it. And while we were waiting, unsure of how we would cross it, Pharaoh's heart was hardened and he regretted letting us go. He made ready 600 chariots and with a large army pursued us. With the Egyptian army closing in on us from behind and the formidable Red Sea in front of us, we were trapped with no way of escape. All we could do in our helpless state was stand still. So we stood, our hearts steadfast on God, and then we saw the salvation of the Lord. The Lord instructed Moses to hold up his staff and stretch out his hand over the Red Sea. In faith and obedience, Moses did so, and in a great display of power and might, Yahweh parted the waters. All of God's people crossed the sea on dry land. Pharaoh's army chased after us, but the Lord threw them into panic and confusion. The Lord then instructed Moses to stretch out his hand over the sea once again, and when he did, the waters engulfed the Egyptian army, drowning every man and chariot. Not one Egyptian survived.
Looking back, I can see now that my God was really in the business of making a way when there was no way. It would seem there was no way for him to use an 80-year-old man hiding in the wilderness, imprisoned by his past, to save a nation, but with a simple shepherd's staff, God made a way. There was no way for Israel to escape Pharaoh's strong grip, but with the blood of a lamb, God made a way. With the Red Sea to taunt us, there was no way for us to escape the entire Egyptian army, yet God stretched out his mighty hand, parted the waters, and made a way. There was no way for us to escape Egypt. All we could do was look to Yahweh. All we could do was look and wait for his deliverance. And when we did, the greatest deliverer in history made a way. He freed us from our bondage, brought us into him. We were finally free.
Yahweh made a covenant with the Israelites to not only bring them out of Egypt, but to take them as his people and be their God. For true freedom is not just being liberated from something. It's being brought into a relationship with God and living as the people he created us to be. The Israelites could not fully experience this freedom, but while free from Egypt, they were still held captive by sin. God is loving, but he is also holy and just. Sin, the breaking of God's law, cannot stand in God's presence. The Israelites were not able to keep God's law, and neither are we. Romans 3:23 says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Sin brings a penalty that by ourselves none of us can escape. Romans 6:23 says, "For the wages of sin is death." Our sin holds us captive, eternally separating us from a holy God. But God speaks into the captivity of our darkness and answers our desperate cry for help with a resounding voice. Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. The God who always makes a way made a way for us to have true freedom. Yahweh, the great I Am, came to earth in the form of a man, Jesus. Jesus came to fulfill God's law and to restore the relationship between us and God. He said he came to earth to proclaim freedom. He said, if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Jesus, who never broke God's law, took our sins upon himself and died on the cross, paying the price for our sin. Because he was sinless, he rose again on the third day, proving that the fine for our sins had been paid in full. We find freedom from the penalty and power of sin and death by accepting Jesus Christ's death on the cross as the payment for our sins. Romans 10:9 says, if you confess with your mouth Jesus as Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Jesus doesn't just free us from sin and death. He frees us into a relationship with him and enables us to live as the people he created us to be. If you are here today seeking freedom from guilt, come to Jesus. Romans 8:1 says, there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. If you need freedom from the fear of death, come to Jesus. 2 Timothy 1:10 says, our Savior Jesus Christ has abolished death and brought life and immortality to light through the gospel. If you need freedom from bondage to sin, come to Jesus. Romans 6:14 says, for sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. If you need freedom to approach God, come to Jesus. Hebrews 10:19 says, we have boldness to enter the holiest by the blood of Jesus. If you need freedom to relate to God as his child and as his heir, come to Jesus. Galatians 4:7 says, therefore you are no longer a slave but an heir, but a son, and if a son of God, then an heir through Christ. If you need freedom to bring your concerns and requests to God, come to Jesus. Philippians 4:6 says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. If you need freedom to live out God's purposes for your life, come to Jesus. Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are his workmanship, created for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. If you need freedom to experience love that will never let you go, no matter what life may throw in your way, come to Jesus. Romans 8:38-39 says, neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other created thing shall be able to separate us from the love of God which is in Christ Jesus our Lord. If you need freedom, come to Jesus. The hero of this story is the deliverer who still delivers today. He freed the Israelites not because of their own merit, but because of his goodness. And he saves us not because we are worthy of salvation, but because he loves us. We can come to him just as we are. In John 6:37, he says, whoever comes to me, I will never drive away. He is the great I am, the eternal and unchanging God, the Ancient of Days, who will soon come riding on the clouds. He is Alpha and Omega, who was and who is to come. He is Jesus, and at his name every knee will bow, of those in heaven and on earth and on under the earth, and every tongue confess that he is Lord. All glory and honor forever be to the great I am.
God's only Son, sent from above, born in the form of a man in the town of Bethlehem, Word now made flesh, as the prophet said, will he redeem us from the snare of sin and slavery.
Oh, God's only Son, sent from above, see how he teaches us, guides us, and leads us with his love. He is love in the form of the shepherd, leaves the flock, searches, and finds the one who is lost. Praise the great I am, who existed before all time began. Author of life I am, entered our lives to save us, it was his plan. I am
for a world he came to save. Jesus saves, praise his name, praise his holy name. Curtains torn into the earth does quake. It is finished, our Lord on high from a cross rise, and his blood cleanses us clean. He is the door through which we come to the Father, united with him and redeemed.
Oh, praise the great I am, who existed before all time began. Author of life I am, entered our lives to save us, it was his plan. I am the resurrection and the life. He suffered and died to bring light to the dead. I am your Lord, your mighty healer. See the nails pierced through me, heal the wounded. I am your pure righteousness. On a cross slain became sin for us. We are made whole and we stand and we say, Jesus has saved us, the great I am.
In a grave they laid him, light of the world. In darkness he lay for 2 whole days. And we mourn and we pray, was this God's way? Light of the world by darkness slain.
And on the third day, the stones rolled away. Jesus emerged. So see how the grave could not hold death, where's your sting? Sin is defeated by your risen righteousness. Forever now he reigns. He's coming back, victorious ruler. Praise his name. He's broken our chains. He set us free. He offers salvation